The stick that she has in her hands is not a whistle, that is a target pole. So with that, we want the animal to touch their nose to that target. So we can get the animal to move in different directions by using that target, and we can train other behaviors by targeting them in certain areas. Like maybe we'll target them on the ground, and that way they'll lie down and we'll train a new behavior.
He's huge, he's like a big baby. He's trying to go high.
So what you guys are seeing is a bit of a basic training session that we do here at the zoo. We use a lot of operant conditioning and mostly positive reinforcement. By this I mean we give the animals stuff they like whenever they do something right. In this case it's going to be me. So, there we go. So in this, everything the animals do is voluntary. So whether or not they want to participate in the training session is completely up to them. Sometimes they would rather relax on the other side of the exhibit, or they're not hungry enough. But that's perfectly fine. We're not going to punish them if they don't want to come over and train with us. And if they do come over and train and they're just not doing behaviors correctly, or say they get a little too antsy to get some of that meat because they're very hungry that day, again, we're not going to punish them. We won't yell at them. We won't even say no. They don't actually know what that means. The most that we'll do is a punishment in the form of a timeout. So if the animal doesn't want to do the training session, we'll say, you know what, we're just going to walk away right now. We'll come back later in the day, and if they want the rest of that food for free, we'll just feed them out, and if they're not hungry, then they won't eat. Again, it's completely up to them. We're not really just going to force them to do this training session if they really don't want to. We want to keep everything on a very positive note so we can build a lot of trust between the animals and the keepers that take care of us, so that they're willing to work with us in a lot of these training exams. So training sessions. So the reasons that we train are, well, there are a few reasons, main reasons, right? So enriching these animals is definitely a part of that. By training them, we are changing up their day and we're really getting them thinking, so it's very stimulating for their mind. But one of the biggest reasons we like to train is that it really aids in a lot of our medical exams. We can train them to move in certain ways, or present certain parts of their bodies, or let us touch certain parts of their bodies, so that we can get them to come over to us and get a good look at them every day. That way we can make sure they're behaving normally, they don't have any new injuries, and they're doing all right. If they weren't trained to do a lot of these behaviors, we would have to anesthetize the animals to give them a medical examination. But that typically can be very stressful on the animals. They don't really know what's going on when we put them to sleep, and it's a lot harder on us as well. So we train these behaviors to make their lives less stressful, as well as making our lives easier. Now, with enough time, training, and a whole lot of patience, we can train more complex behaviors, such as a voluntary blood draw from the base of the tail, x-rays, radiographs, ultrasounds, all with the animal awake, knowing what we're doing, and they know that if they just sit there and let us keep working, we're going to keep feeding them. Are there any questions on that? So that behavior right there and up is great for us to get a good look at their belly. We can also take a look at their paws as well. And as they go through the motion of doing the up, we can actually see if they're doing all right. I mean, if they're having a little bit of trouble doing that up behavior, that's going to clue in for us that, well, maybe the animal isn't feeling well, or maybe it's injured somewhere, and we can take a closer look at that. And again, you might see that she re-asks a behavior. Maybe Chewy isn't doing the behavior at some point. Maybe he didn't do it correctly. Again, we're not going to yell. We're not going to punish the animal. We're just going to ignore any unwanted behavior. That way we can keep everything on a very positive note. Oh, good question. I was just about to get to that. We feed them a mixture of horse and beef. It's a ground mixture that has a lot of the parts of the animal in it, so they can get the complete nutrition that they would be getting ideally out in the wild. Shisolo here gets about 6.5 pounds every day, and Maya over there is getting 7 pounds every day.
Why? Why is the male getting so less, getting a half a pound less if he weighs more?
So Shisolo, that's a great question. Shisolo is still doing a little bit of growing. He's not fully grown just yet. He's still a little young. So as he goes through some of his growth spurts, sometimes he just gets a little too heavy. So we weigh these animals every week so we can make sure they stay within a very good weight range. And if they get a little too above that range, we'll cut some of their diet out. So that's what's going on with him right now. We wanted him to lose just a little bit of weight, so we're giving him a little bit less food for now. Correct. She's getting 7 pounds and he's getting 6.5. Because he is on a diet right now. Yeah.
Okay, my group. Jacob and everybody.